All right, let's dive into what's more likely. Week 10, Pittsburgh Steelers, Washington Commanders. Nick, what do we got?
Yeah, let's start with this one. New acquisition Mike Williams gets 3 or more catches in his debut. He's done that twice this season. Or Preston Smith gets 4 or more tackles this Sunday, which he's done once this season.
Oh, that is a big one there. That's a big start because you're thinking Mike Williams 3 or more. Probably not. Probably not. But it's got to be close. Preston Smith 4 tackles. Probably not. But maybe. I would say what's more likely? What's more likely is Preston Smith. It's got to be Preston Smith. I mean, how many guys on the Pittsburgh Steelers have had over 3 catches on a consistent basis, game to game? Not many outside of George Pickens. I mean, Pat Fryermuth's not even doing it, and that's how you look at it and say, I don't really. The defense, anybody could get 4 tackles. 4 tackles isn't the craziest thing in the world. I'm going Preston Smith on this one, just because of opportunity. You know, Preston Smith's on the field. He's got a shot to make a tackle. Mike Williams is on the field. There's a 50-50 shot, probably less than that they're running the football and that he's not even going to get an opportunity to catch a pass on that one. I'm going to go Preston Smith. What's more likely? I don't, that's a tough one, but I'm going to go Preston Smith.
Ty goes to the guy with the tiger tattoo on his neck.
Always.
Alrighty, let's go to 2 players that have been around and are leading their respective teams right now. Russell Wilson throws for 300 yards, which he hasn't done yet as a Pittsburgh Steeler, or Commanders quarterback Jaden Daniels rushes for 80 yards, of which he's done twice so far in his NFL career. What's more likely?
See, this is tough because the answer is Russell Wilson, because the Steelers are going to play Jaden Daniels like they do Lamar Jackson, and Lamar Jackson doesn't have these crazy games like he does against everybody else, and they'll utilize that to shut down Jaden Daniels. That's what they'll do. But Russ goes against my Najee Harris bold prediction, so now I'm looking at it going, do I bite myself in the butt here and say, and get this one wrong, or do I get the bold prediction wrong? Because I'm feeling good about the bold prediction, and 500 yards of offense is too many yards of offense. That's not going to happen. Let's just be very real there. It's not going to happen. What's more likely between the two is Russ throws for 300. And that's only because the Steelers are going to be prepared for Jaden Daniels. They're going to have a defense prepared much like they do against the Ravens, to where they can shut down a mobile quarterback who could run. I mean, Mike Tomlin had to be asked what he likes about Jaden Daniels' ability to throw the football, because when he talked about him, all he talked about was how he could run the ball. So you got to be prepared, or they'll be prepared to shut down Jaden Daniels' legs. 300 is a lot, but it's possible. It's possible, and I think it's more possible than 80 yards rushing for a guy versus a defense that is fresh, kind of pissed off, just added another pass rusher, and knows how to play these types of quarterbacks. So what's more likely? Russell Wilson, 300 yards. I'm going to go with that one.
Alrighty, let's jump over to the ground game here. Jaylen Warren rushes for 50+ and a touchdown, or comeback player this week, Cordarrelle Patterson rushes for 25+ in a touchdown. What's more likely?
I'm going Cordarrelle Patterson. I think the Steelers love Cordarrelle Patterson. I do. I don't know. You have a guy in Jalen who's like 24, 25 years old. You have a guy in Najee who's 26, both of them super young. And the Steelers are just like, hey, that 32-year-old, that guy knows what's up. What's up. I think Cordarrelle Patterson comes back with a bang. 25 yards could be 2 rushes for a guy like that, and I think he gets those opportunities. I'm going Cordarrelle Patterson. 50 yards, it's the touchdown part. That's what it is the touchdown. If you're going to give somebody a goal line opportunity, you're going to go with the guy who's 6'2", 250 over the guy who's 5'7", 235. That's just, you're going with the big guy, and Cordarrelle Patterson is a big guy. I'm going plus 25 and a touchdown. I feel like that's a doable number for Cordarrelle Patterson. Does the touchdown have to be rushing?
No, let's just say any type of touchdown.
Yeah, I'm definitely going Cordarrelle.
Alrighty, and let's go to my final one before we jump into the comment section. And stick with me here, because the Washington Commanders, they allow the 3rd most yards per game of anybody in the National Football League. But as we've talked about, they are first in giveaways, only 3 all season. So with that in mind, what's more likely? The Steelers offense outgains the Commanders offense, or the Steelers defense forces 2 turnovers.
Oh, what's more likely is that's so neck and neck in a positive way. Like, that's the craziest part is it's neck and neck with the Steelers could easily outgain the Commanders offense. I don't know why. I get that stats say that the Commanders defense is good and that they've done this before, but the Commanders are just like the Steelers. Like, they're a team that you look at and go, who've they played? They're not a ton of good people, not a ton of good teams. And they've been close in a couple of those teams. The Steelers have as well. But the Steelers offense could go for 475. They could go for 400. They could do that. They could have those games. They've done it twice in what, the last 3 weeks, I think, maybe 3 times in the last 3 weeks, something crazy like that. That could happen. 2 turnovers that's, you could talk Jaden Daniels doesn't throw interceptions and the running backs don't, turn the ball over. Jeremy McNichols runs up the hole. I don't know if he's met TJ Watt. I don't know if he knows what that's going to be like yet. I don't know if he has any idea what's in front of him or what will be punching down at the football. The Steelers are turnover central here. That is how they're winning football games. It's how they've wanted to win football games. If I'm going to be honest, I think what's more likely is the defense forces 2 turnovers. Has the Steelers defense gone a game this season without forcing 2 turnovers? They might not have. And I find it hard to believe they've gone a game without forcing a turnover in general. 2 just seems like a number that they can hit almost with ease here when it comes to especially if Brian Robinson's still hurt. Like, I'm sorry, Jeremy McNichols, man, former Pittsburgh Steeler.
Yeah.
All the praise to you.
That's what I was going to say. He's definitely seen TJ Watt at least once because he was at Steelers.
No, he lasted like a day and a half at training camp.
He saw him.
He definitely met him. Said what's up. I don't think TJ would remember him, but he definitely said what's up. I was shocked that Mike Tomlin gave him for Jeremy McNichols, a guy that we are well aware of. You're not, Mike. You're not. He was your 8th running back for like 3 days in training camp. No, that wasn't how it was. So I'm gonna go turnovers.
Yeah, I mean, when you said easily outgains, there is a path to which the Steelers can outgain, and that is if they continue to dominate this game on the ground and dominate time of possession. At that point, that you give Jaden Daniels as little opportunities as humanly possible against your defense, and you trust that your defense can get off the field on 3rd down. If you do that, and Najee Harris and Jalen Warren and Cordero Patterson are having field days, yeah, you should outgain this team. But I wouldn't say easily, simply because this team is also, and this team being the Commanders, is averaging 395 yards a game. So
hey,
it's going to be a slog, but there is a path for the Steelers.
No, look at Najee Harris runs for 189 and Russell Wilson throws for 301. That's 490 yards here, pal. So that's easy. That's an easily outgained game. If you're as dedicated to your football team as I am, you've got to check out my partners, DraftKings Sportsbooks. With options to bet on your favorite team, favorite players, props, and more, there's something for everyone. And right now, all new customers who bet just $5 will get $200 in bonus bets instantly. Now that's something to celebrate this season. Just download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and sign up using my promo code ALLSTEELERS. The crown is yours. That's right. New customers can bet just $5 on anything and receive $200 in bonus bets instantly. Stay in on the action and use your $200 in bonus bets on DraftKings same game parlays for a shot at an even bigger payout. Combine multiple bets together from the same game. If sports betting is not yet available in your state, don't worry. You can still join in on all the fun with DraftKings Daily Fantasy and have the shot to win cash prizes. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now. New customers use my promo code ALLSTEELERS and bet just $5 on any wager and get $200 in bonus bets instantly. That's promo code ALLSTEELERS only at DraftKings Sportsbook.
All righty. Well, let's jump into the listeners who have dropped in what's more likely throughout the show. Let's start with Dobby Has a Sock, who says, what's more likely? Mike Williams, new face, new name, in the end zone? He scores a touchdown on Sunday, or Minkah Fitzpatrick gets an interception. A topic of conversation for multiple weeks.
This is a tough one. It's got it. I feel so bad saying this. I got called out. Did I tell you this? I got called out for our Minkah conversation about being traded. Not by him, but definitely by someone I wouldn't want to get called out by. I won't drop names. I don't ever drop names, but
I'll ask after.
Yeah, of course. Of course.
Always.
Of course. But yeah, this is I'm going Mike Williams. I'm going Mike Williams. It's got to be Mike Williams. Like, there's an opportunity for Mike to score a touchdown. The Steelers are going to give him an opportunity to score a touchdown. There's going to be some kind of ramp up, get to know him, get loose period for a guy like Mike Williams, but they're still going to give him opportunities to score touchdowns and make an impact right from the jump. Until Minkah comes up with an interception, you got to go against Minkah getting interceptions. So I'm going Mike Williams on this one. I hate to say it because it should be Minkah, but I'm going Mike Williams.
Yeah, opportunities is the big thing here. How many opportunities is Mike Williams going to get to score a touchdown? Probably more than Jaden Daniels is going to throw it to Minkah Fitzpatrick's side of the field.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, one Mike Williams touchdown. What's more likely to another? Let's go to I'm MF Tide, who says, what's more likely, a Mike Will touchdown or a Preston Smith sack on Sunday afternoon?
I like this one. This one's Preston Smith. He's going to get opportunities to rush the passer. He's going to get opportunities to be in a set where he goes inside to rush the passer on a third down situation. And the Washington Commanders, they go for it on fourth down quite a bit. So I'm going Preston Smith on this one. I think he's going to have a shot. If he was almost a bold prediction, but I didn't think it was that bold. I think it was bold enough to say Preston Smith comes up with a sack in his first game for the Steelers. I think Preston Smith's got an opportunity. He's impressive, man. He's just watching him practice. He's impressive. He's very impressive. So I'm going Preston Smith. He's got 2 already this season. I think he could get a third. And I think Steelers fans like in any other team, you're talking about the big offensive guy who comes in here and makes an impact immediately. In Pittsburgh, you're talking about the big defensive guy that comes in here and makes an impact immediately because that's Pittsburgh Steelers football. I'm going Preston Smith on this. I think I'd feel pretty good about that one too.
If you're sensing a theme here, you should. Chef Rusty says, what's more likely? Battle of the new acquisitions. Mike Williams catches a touchdown versus Washington, or Lattimore picks off Russ, the new acquisition for the Commanders.
I mean, you got to go Mike Williams, and I hate to be the bearer of bad news here, but Marshawn Lattimore most likely will not play against the Pittsburgh Steelers. Therefore, I'm going Mike Williams. I'm feeling pretty confident about this one, simply because if this was a DraftKings Sportsbook bet here, that would be voided because Marshawn ain't going to play. But if he does, I still think I'd go Mike Williams. Russ doesn't turn the ball over. Much.
Alrighty, let's go over to Josh, who says, what's more likely? Minkah blocks a field goal or extra point, or gets that coveted interception?
At this point, we're roasting Minkah, man. I feel bad.
It's on the minds of the listeners. That's the thing.
It is. Oh, man.
I say
interception. It's an interception on this one. Yeah, but like, how close? That's what you're going, oh, man, about. It's much closer than it should be. Your thought process, like you can't deny that your mind went, well, he's almost done it once. What's going to stop him from doing it again? You know, he's almost done it more than once. If we're going to be honest, in his career, he's almost had a couple of these. They always get called back, but he's always had a couple of these, almost had a couple of these. I still got to go interception. I get where we're going here, but I got to go interception.
All righty, let's go to Stephen Cornfield, who says, what's more likely? More targets to Mike Williams than Calvin Austin in this game, or we see the coveted Justin Fields package?
Oh, man. More targets to Mike Williams. I know that's going to be a killer there. I know people are going to be real disappointed, but I'm going Mike Williams over Calvin Austin just because I want to say the Justin Fields package is coming. Okay, I do. And I think at some point they're going to break it out. I really think at some point they're going to break it. And I know yesterday I said that this could be the week that they do, but I went to practice. I talked to some people. I did some digging, and I think I might jump the gun. I'll give you a hint here, okay? I'm thinking short week. Cleveland, but do you really need to break it out against Cleveland? You could hold it all the way to Kansas City, but I doubt that they do that. It's going to be a situation like that where they don't really have time to practice it. They just toss it in there and say, screw it. Here it is. Let's see what happens. I'm going Mike Williams over Calvin Austin in this scenario here.
We're closing this out with Carl Spackler, who changed his picture. I think we both knew that it was a Caddyshack reference, but
when he emailed us, he gave us his real name, and I did not pick up on the Caddyshack reference. No, I immediately said, "Who is this guy?" And then I was like, "Oh, why did I never?" He explained it in the email too. I was like, "Thank you for doing that because I would have never picked up on it."
But Carl throws in a what's more likely, and we'll close it out with this one. What's more likely? Mike Tomlin stops using Tomlinisms for an interview, or Danny Smith stops chewing gum for a game.
Oh my gosh. I don't know. You got to think Danny Smith, simply because at some point that amount of gum has to have negative health benefits. Like there's no way. I don't know if Danny Smith goes to a doctor. It wouldn't surprise me if he said, why would I go to a doctor? I don't need a doctor. But you gotta think it'd be Danny Smith. Like at some point I don't know, like gum becomes like a health hazard. It's just something like that. Tomlin not lose. No. Tomlin will always use the Tomlinisms. They are. I think Tomlin dreams in Tomlinisms. I think he sits there and a squirrel runs by with a thing of nuts. He goes, squirrel and nuts. Whoa, that was it. And then he wakes up and writes it down. Hot dog pops in his brain, and it's just all the ingredients. That's all it is. That's all it is. I think he's got, I don't know what he's got, but I think that's when it happens. You got to go Danny Smith on this one. You got to go Danny Smith.
I mean, both of these just seem like till there's no longer air left in my lungs, I will continue to do this for both of them. So to me,
who retires first?
Exactly. And I'm like, Danny Smith's going to retire before Mike Tomlin, because Mike Tomlin can go as long as he wants in Pittsburgh, seemingly. So again, I don't think either of them stop, but the little part here for a game, I'm going to take this literally, Carl, and I'm going to say Mike Tomlin's going to be around longer than Danny Smith in the NFL. So by default, he's going to be doing Tomlinisms more than Danny Smith's going to be chewing gum on an NFL sideline.
That's true. Let me ask this. If Tomlin went to another team, do you think he takes the Tomlinisms with him?
Yes. Oh, yes. There's no way that
he takes
just Russ in Denver kind of thing.
Do you think that he takes the standard as the standard with him? The standard is the standard is on walls in Pittsburgh's in the Steelers facility, like big giant plaques all over the place.
Yeah, no, I don't think that one leaves, but like rather say whoa than sick 'em, cut your eyelids off. Those ones are all transferable, but no, standard is the standard, is 100% a Pittsburgh Steelers staple. He surrendered the right to that trademark. It's literally the name of his document. It's the standard.
It is.
So like they can't take it away from him.
They messed up there. He 100% should have
kept that one close to the vest.
Yeah, he should have had some legal action behind that one before he dropped it. 100%.